Is it just a sweet tooth? Or something more? If you're over 65 living in the US or Europe and struggling with sleep, memory, or motivation, it might be time to rethink that small square of dark chocolate. Because what if I told you that chocolate, yes, real, rich dark chocolate, isn't just an indulgence, but a gentle ally for your heart, your brain, and your nights? Stick with me because this story isn't just about cravings. It's about senior health, science, and a bit of elderly wisdom passed down through experience. I want to take you to Leeds, England, where I met Walter, a 79-year-old retired chemistry professor who always believed in evidence, not trends. Walter had lived a sharp, disciplined names of students he'd mentored for years, equations he once knew by heart, and perhaps most unsettling for him, he couldn't sleep. Nights were restless. He'd toss, turn, and wake up more tired than before. He tried all the usual things: melatonin, chamomile tea, cutting out caffeine after noon. Nothing helped, until one evening his daughter, who happened to be a nutritionist, gave him a piece of advice he almost laughed at. "Dad, eat a square of dark chocolate before bed." His first reaction, that's not science, that's wishful thinking. But being the curious mind he was, Walter gave it a try. What happened next? That's where elderly reflections truly come alive. Within 2 weeks, Walter was sleeping better. He wasn't knocked out like with medication, but he stayed asleep longer and woke up feeling more refreshed. Over the next month, he noticed something else. He felt clearer during the day, less fog, more focus. And the change? It all pointed back to that small piece of dark chocolate. Here's what's really going on. Dark chocolate, the kind that's 70% cacao or higher, is rich in flavonoids. These are powerful antioxidants that improve blood flow to the brain and reduce inflammation, especially important for seniors. According to a 2017 study in Frontiers in Nutrition, older adults who consume flavonoid-rich cocoa had better memory retention, quicker processing speed, and sharper attention. Not only that, dark chocolate helps increase serotonin. That's your mood and sleep neurotransmitter. As we age, serotonin production naturally declines, which contributes to insomnia and low mood in many seniors. But cocoa polyphenols gently stimulate serotonin receptors, naturally guiding the body toward a more restful state. Now think about this. One small square of dark chocolate can help support circulation, protect your brain cells, and calm your nervous system, all while tasting like a treat. That's not just food, that's strategy. That's inspiration backed by science. Let's pause and reflect on something Walter told me. One evening after his usual bedtime square of chocolate, he looked out at the snow falling outside his cottage window and said, "I don't feel young again, but I feel present again. And at my age, that means everything." That's the kind of life lesson from the elderly that sticks with you. Because sometimes being present, being able to hold a conversation without losing track, or remembering why you walked into a room, that's more valuable than anything else. But Walter's story is just the beginning. Let me tell you about Linda. She's 66 from Montana. Worked as a hospice nurse for 3 decades. Tough as nails but soft-spoken. Full of grace. She always said nighttime is when your soul catches up with your body. But hers never did. She woke up multiple times a night. Her sleep was broken, her energy low, and her blood pressure unstable. A friend mentioned the magnesium in dark chocolate and how it plays a critical role in relaxing muscles, calming nerves, and supporting melatonin production. Linda was skeptical, but she was also tired and ready to try something new. So she began ending her day with 1 square of 85% cacao chocolate, sometimes with a few unsalted almonds or a slice of pear. She paired it with a slow walk after dinner and no screens an hour before bed. Within 2 weeks, she was sleeping through the night, not always perfectly, but deeply enough that her doctor noticed a change in her mood and her vitals. Her quote, "It wasn't just about rest, it was about dignity. I finally felt like my body remembered how to heal." These kinds of quotes from seniors matter. They carry wisdom you can't Google. They're not theory, they're lived experience. Now, if you're wondering whether chocolate before bed will keep you awake, here's the key. It depends on the kind of chocolate. Avoid milk chocolate, avoid sugar-low bars, and absolutely avoid anything with caffeine-rich additive. Go for dark, pure, high cacao content, 70% or higher. Look for organic if possible, and limit your portion, just 1 ounce, not a bar, a square. That's all it takes. Let it melt slowly in your mouth. Savor it like a ritual. Don't rush, because this isn't just a treat, it's a signal to your body, you're safe, you can rest now. That's the kind of senior health habit that's small but mighty. And it's deeply aligned with the motivation we speak about here on this channel. So now I have to ask, what do your nights look like? What stories are your sleep patterns telling you? Are they calling for a change? Maybe it's time to stop punishing yourself with bland routines and instead start adding something back in. Something small, something intentional, something backed by both research and elderly wisdom. In the next section, we'll compare dark chocolate to some common nighttime snacks. And I'll share the surprising story of a Danish couple who uncovered its unexpected benefits for high blood pressure, memory, and even strengthening their relationship. You'll want to hear this. And before you go, let me invite you, truly invite you, to become part of the Elderly Reflections community. If this spoke to you even a little, click like, subscribe, and turn on that bell so you never miss the next step in your journey toward better rest, sharper thinking, and the kind of aging that feels more like rising. And finally, tell me in the comments, where are you watching from? US, UK, Denmark, Canada. I read every comment, and it's your voices, your reflections, that keep this community alive. Because whether you're 65 or 85, your next chapter still matters. And it just might begin with a single piece of dark chocolate. Let me take you north now, to a small coastal town in Denmark, where an elderly couple named Henrik and Solve transformed their evenings in a way neither of them expected. Henrik was 72, a retired naval engineer with a love for crossword puzzles and gardening. Solve, 68, had spent most of her life as a librarian. Their marriage was steady, filled with quiet routines, shared meals, and a soft kind of closeness that only comes with time. But, like many seniors, they both struggled with different late-night issues. Henrik battled high blood pressure, especially in the evenings. Solveig had restless sleep, waking up 2 or 3 times a night, sometimes with racing thoughts, other times with aching joints. They tried all the traditional advice, cutting caffeine, avoiding screens, even taking evening walks. But nothing seemed to stick. That was until Solveig read an article, not in a medical journal, but in a Danish senior wellness magazine, about a small study done on seniors using dark chocolate before bed. The article claimed that dark chocolate helped regulate blood pressure, improved REM sleep, and provided polyphenols that reduced nighttime inflammation. Curious? Solveig proposed a small change. Each night before turning in, they'd share 1 square of 85% cacao dark chocolate, paired with warm oat milk, a dim light, and quiet conversation. Just 2 weeks into the routine, they noticed something surprising. Henrik's nightly blood pressure readings, which he tracked religiously, had improved. Not by magic, not overnight, but enough as some Solved, for the first time in months, reported waking up just once a night and returning to sleep quickly. Their evenings became something more than just the end of the day. They became a kind of sacred pause, a moment of intention. Henrik later said, "We weren't just eating chocolate, we were reclaiming the end of our day." That's the kind of insight you only hear through elder reflections, not theory, lived wisdom. But let's dive deeper into what was happening in their bodies. One key player is theobromine, a mild, naturally occurring stimulant found in cacao. Unlike caffeine, theobromine has a more gentle, longer-lasting effect. It helps widen blood vessels, which supports lower blood pressure and improves circulation, both essential for seniors over 65. The result? Your heart doesn't have to work as hard at night, and a calmer heart often leads to a calmer mind. Another major benefit comes from tryptophan, an amino acid also present in dark chocolate that serves as a precursor to serotonin and melatonin. These neurotransmitters are the pillars of sleep health. As serotonin rises, so does your body's ability to shift into a restful, recovery touch state. Beyond the science, there's something more subtle at work. Something that speaks to the motivation behind this entire video. It's about ritual, intention, and dignity. Seniors who create small nighttime habits, especially ones involving calming foods, often report not just better sleep, but a stronger sense of control, a deeper connection with themselves. And that connection, it matters. It's what keeps the brain sharp, the heart steady, and the spirit alive. So let's talk about pairing, because dark chocolate doesn't have to stand alone. Many seniors find even greater benefit when combining it with magnesium-rich or serotonin-boosting foods. One of the best pairing, banana slices. Not only are bananas rich in potassium and magnesium, great for muscle relaxation and heart health, but they also contain vitamin B6, which helps convert tryptophan into serotonin. Slice half a banana and serve it alongside your chocolate square. It's comforting, balanced, and blood sugar friendly. Another excellent companion, raw almond, packed with healthy fats, magnesium, and a touch of protein. Almonds help slow the digestion of sugar, which prevents nighttime crashes and blood pressure spikes. A small handful, maybe 6 to 8, is all you need. I also want to mention herbal teas, especially those made with rooibos, chamomile, or passion flower. These teas are naturally caffeine-free, support cortisol reduction, and pair beautifully with a square of dark chocolate. Henrik and Solveig used oat milk, which contains beta-glucans and plant-based proteins that support blood sugar stability. But any unsweetened nut milk can work. The point isn't just the ingredients, it's the mindset. When seniors like Henrik and Solveig take 15 minutes each night to prepare something nourishing, something they look forward to, it sends a powerful message to the body. You matter. You're cared for. You're still in charge of your health. That's not just nutrition, that's inspiration. That's senior health at its most personal. Now I know what you might be thinking. What if I have diabetes or pre-diabetes? Can I still eat dark chocolate before bed? The answer is yes, but with care. Choose chocolate that's 85% or higher in cacao content. And monitor your blood sugar. The fiber and fat content in high pyrbose chocolate actually slows glucose absorption. In fact, according to a 2015 review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, cocoa flavonoids may help improve insulin sensitivity in older adults. But always talk to your doctor before making major changes. And if your chocolate has added sugar, skip it. Go for unsweetened, low-carb options. Now let me bring you one last story before we wrap this part. It's about Arlene, 84, a retired violinist from Vancouver. Arlene lived alone after her husband passed. Her biggest complaint? The silence, especially at night. She told me once, it wasn't the loneliness that hurt. It was not having a reason to look forward to evening. Her granddaughter suggested a ritual, a candle, a square of dark chocolate, and a piece of music. Sometimes Chopin, sometimes Ella Fitzgerald. Arlene called it her night concert, and it changed everything. Not just her sleep, not just her mood, but her sense of identity. She told me, I remembered I'm still a woman with taste, with rhythm, with joy. This is the essence of elderly reflection. Not just food, but purpose. Not just nutrients, but meaning. So whether it's for your blood pressure, your memory, or your heart, chocolate in its purest form can be more than a treat. It can be a quiet act of resilience. In the final section, we'll explore what to avoid before bed, habits and snacks that may be subtly sabotaging your sleep, and how to create a bedtime tray tailored specifically to your needs. Plus, I'll share the surprising story of an 86-year-old from Minnesota who changed her life by changing her last 20 minutes of the day. Before you go, let me ask, are you giving yourself enough care in the quiet hours? Are you treating bedtime like the healing opportunity it is? If not, tonight might be the perfect night to begin. And if this episode moved you even a little, please hit like, subscribe to Elderly Reflections, and tap the bell so you never miss a story like this again. Leave a comment below and tell me, where are you watching from? Canada? Denmark? Ohio? I'd love to know, because this channel is more than just information. It's a place for life lessons from the elderly, for motivation, and for remembering that your story still matters. Your choices still count, and your evenings still belong to you. There's something sacred about the final 20 minutes of the day. It's not just when the lights go out. It's when your body decides whether to heal or hold on to the stress. And yet most people, especially seniors, unknowingly sabotage those precious moments without realizing it. That's why in this final part, we're not just talking about what to eat, but what to avoid, because the right bedtime foods are powerful. But they can't do their job if they're competing against habits that quietly hurt your heart, cloud your mind, or disrupt your rest. Let's begin with a mistake many seniors still make: eating processed snacks right before bed. Crackers, toast, sugary granola bars. They may seem light, even harmless, but they spike your blood sugar. And what goes up must come down. These crashes often cause your body to release cortisol in the middle of the night, waking you up, tightening your chest, or leaving your thoughts racing at 2 a.m. Seniors often blame this on aging, but the real culprit may be that late-night slice of toast. So here's the rule. Cut refined carbs after 7 p.m. Instead, reach for complex options like berries, almonds, or yes, that square of dark chocolate. Now let's talk about hydration, because it's another hidden sleep thief. Water is vital, but when you drink too much too close to bedtime, you create a new problem: nocturia, or nighttime urination. For many seniors, this doesn't just interrupt sleep. It raises the risk of blood pressure medications or postural hypotension. So here's a tip. Finish your last glass of water about 90 minutes before you lie down. Sip slowly if needed, but keep it light. Let your body focus on rest, not restroom runs. Another surprising enemy, alcohol. Many seniors believe a glass of wine helps them fall asleep. And while it might make you drowsy initially, alcohol destroys deep sleep, the kind of score your brain and heart need most. Studies from Harvard Medical School show that even moderate alcohol consumption can reduce REM sleep by up to 40%. For seniors, this can mean grogginess, low mood, and even memory problems the next day. If you enjoy a drink, have it with dinner, not before bed. Your brain will thank you. And while we're at it, let's not forget screen time. The blue light from phones and TVs delays melatonin production, your sleep hormone. But there's another layer. Seniors who end their day with the news, violent shows, or overstimulating content report higher nighttime anxiety and poorer sleep quality. Try replacing screen time with soft music, gentle reading, or reflection. And if you want something visual, candlelight or warm LED lamps are far better options. So what should your ideal bedtime routine look like? I want you to imagine a tray. Not a meal, not a full plate, just a small tray. Something you prepare with care, the way you might set the table for someone you love. On it, you place a square of dark chocolate, maybe a few raw almonds, perhaps a warm cup of rooibos tea, and next to that tray, a candle, a quiet book, a moment of stillness. This isn't about food anymore. It's about reclaiming your night, reclaiming your calm, reclaiming your health. Now let me share the story I promised. A story that ties everything together from the very beginning. Her name is Edith. She's 86 years old, from Minnesota. A retired nurse, twice widowed, living alone with her cat Benjamin. For years, Edith struggled with isolation. Her family called, but the days felt long and the nights longer. She didn't sleep well. Her memory faded. She felt like life had become a waiting room. But one afternoon, she stumbled across a video, maybe a lot like this one, and something in her stirred. That night, she took one small step. She lit a candle, she made a tray, a single square of dark chocolate, a chamomile tea, and her old photo album. She didn't sleep perfectly, but she felt something she hadn't in years: presence. She emailed a friend the next morning and wrote, "For the first time in 10 years, I felt like my night belonged to me." That is what Elderly Reflections is all about. Not perfection, not youth, but ownership, dignity, healing. Whether you're in Canada, Germany, or Ohio, your story is still yours to shape. Every choice you make before bed is like casting a vote for your future. Not a big one, but a meaningful one. So let me ask you, what's on your tray tonight? Is it calming you or keeping you wired? Are you ending your day like someone who matters, or like someone who's forgotten that you still do? Because I believe with all my heart that life lessons from the elderly aren't just something we study, they're something we embody. Every evening, every decision, every ritual, it's a chance to show your body that you're still here, still fighting, still building a future, even at 65, 75, 85 or beyond. Now, before we wrap up, I want to invite you, truly and sincerely, to become part of our community here at Elderly Reflections. If this story spoke to you, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell so you never miss an episode. Filled with senior health tips, elderly wisdom, quotes, and stories that inspire you to rise, even when the world says slow down. And one last thing, let me know in the comments, where are you watching from? I read every message. Are you in the UK, Australia, Florida? Your voice adds to the chorus of stories we share here. This isn't just a channel, it's a reflection of our values, of what it means to age with intention. So tonight, may your tray be small but sacred. May your heart beat steady. May your mind quiet. And may you wake tomorrow not just rested, but restored. Because sometimes all it takes is a little square of dark chocolate to remind you that you're still writing your story, one night at a time.